Hey everyone, my name's Chris, and today we're going to be doing something a little different, something I've not done before. We are going to be doing reaction something here today. I got a hair in my face. So today we're going to be doing a reaction to the new God of War gameplay trailer. I remember whenever I first heard it a couple days ago, I wanted to watch it, and I watched like the first minute and a half, just so I could see what it's all about. And honestly, I was impressed. I would like to watch the whole thing now and sort of get an idea of what we're going to be getting ourselves into. As a God of War fan, there are still a few God of War games I haven't played. Most notably, the most recent one. But I have watched cutscenes and gameplay footage. If I can't access a particular game or title on the spot, or at least for an extended period, like for instance, if it's a strictly console game, I will go and I will watch the entire front to back story playthrough, see how the combat works, see how everything seems to flow and feel. That's if I can't do it. If I can do it, then I'll get it and I'll play it. Also, God of War Ragnarok would not last 5 minutes on my system. So we are going to be watching the new God of War gameplay footage. So we're going to see what all this is like. All right, got this pulled up. Let's give it a shot. Oh, that brings back memories of the childhood. Mm. Every 90s kid. Every 90s kid. Sorry. Just woke up a bit ago, got the throat. Throat feels a bit weird. Make sure my phone's turned off. Yeah.
Find your way home. You are free.
That's obviously from the first game. Turn the volume up on this real quick. There we go. Alright. Alright, so right off the bat, we already got to see that this isn't direct footage from the original one, nor is it different camera angles. Because we can see that the lighting is a little bit darker. Kratos' face is a little more defined. Looks like it might have been made using the same graphics engine as Ragnarok. You can just tell by looking at it. People are a little bit, their shadows are a little bit more pronounced or slightly darker than the 2018 version. Also, Kratos is a little more stoic looking in this. I've seen tidbits on the internet where where people are saying that Kratos comes back, and I don't know if that makes 100% sense to me. This is about where I stopped, right around here. Those butterflies, the color scheme and the way they look oriented, not oriented, the way their proportions are, it looks kind of Oriental or Japanese. However you want to use that phrase.
Kratos!
She's got glowies. I do like how her hair isn't, like, all done up and stuff like it was in the Ragnarok flashbacks. What is that? The fuck? Alright, so look at the art style of that little thing. Large eyes, swirling color patterns, very large pronounced lips, and a large mouth. That's obviously a Japanese or Chinese style, if you look at artwork and such at the time. So we might be in Japanese or Chinese,
Know where I am?
Or predominantly Asian culture, non-white Asian culture. Alright, so you get a health bar down at the bottom there. Alright.
Okay. Burned clothes. The pyre. It happened. They're starting on the path. It's just...
Oh, we can jump.
Get to say
Okay, okay. Didn't get to say goodbye. Hold up, hold up. Did she just double jump? So it looks like we're getting some small platformer capabilities with this. Reminds me a lot of predominantly God of War 3. The jump seems we just get the double jump there, so we might be seeing elements of that in there. So it might not be a reskin of 2018 in Ragnarok. It might actually be its own mixture thing. I did see rumors that the next God of War game would put elements of the recent Norse games gameplay style with the old Greek stuff, so that might be something fun. So the fact that you can jump is pretty cool. Jump prominently and on your own, that is.
This definitely isn't the light of Alfheim.
No shit. If anybody knows where this happens to be taking place, please put in the comments. I'd like to know.
Mask. How?
Okay. Lance. Okay, so her hand seems to be of some importance. That looks obviously of... Okay, cool. That sword looks of Asian design. Oh, she was so used to the shield. Alright, we got some Bayonetta Devil May Cry vibes going on there.
Shouldn't have been that difficult.
The reason I say that it looks Asian or Japanese is because the handle style and because it's incredibly long. Viking or Norse swords were not typically that long because they wanted to get in close.
Good idea.
Okay, so is she just picking up some dead guy's armor? Okay, she's just putting on some dead dude's armor. I guess it's classic RPG style aesthetic. Put on what armor you can find. Interesting choice, though.
Now, how about a way out?
Interesting art choice. Or not art choice. Interesting direction choice. Creative direction choice with that. Alright, we got some Arkham going on. Run slide. Under short things. Okay.
Guess I'll find my own way from here.
This already has a very unique and different feel from the most recent God of War games. So this already feels like its own thing.
No, it can't be. It's not possible. If there's another mask, their path isn't safe. I have to find a way back.
Alright, so that seems like a reference to the mask in, what is it, Ragnarok, so that might be something to do with that. Alright, those look Oriental or Japanese in nature.
Did you come from the Eagle Oslo? Not the gates. The gateway is closed.
That looks Devil May Cry-ish.
That creature.
Those guys look like the immortals from Persian culture, from Persian history. Like at the Battle of 300.
Kid. Let him go!
Alright, strong motherly vibes there. Let me pause this for a minute and increase the quality because it's a little bit lower quality than I'd like for it to be. See if it'll go up to 720 there. There we go. My internet's been a bit wonky lately, so... Oh, that is obvious Japanese culture. You can easily tell that's Japanese. Well, that might be Chinese. Either way, it's Eastern culture because you can tell, one, it's got the Oni face, Oni being demon. And two, look at the teeth. They're all like curved outwards, curved upwards. They don't seem to make... They don't seem to make it look like he actually eats with them. That is Japanese culture. So it looks like we're going to be in Japanese or Chinese culture, Far East culture. Not Far East, but East culture, Eastern culture. Oh, that is so cool looking. It's got to be an Oni of some kind. I don't know what character that could be. I don't know Eastern or Asian culture that well. In terms of their gods or spirits or whatever. Water-ish? Fire and water? Is it... Ugh.
Another mask. This
Pardon
is
my-
important to you.
Pardon my asthma.
I wonder, do you think this could set you free?
Damn, she got clocked. The But she did fight
Touch
Thor.
me again, and I swear, I will kill you.
Would you like to see how hard it is to die here, Godly? I can show you.
You can't keep me here.
The gateway is closed. There is no escape.
Resisting the truth will only make this more painful.
Going into her chin there. Okay.
Sekhmet,
No.
Hold on. Sekhmet.
Let's see.
Sekhmet is the Egyptian goddess of war. Lion-headed, if I remember right. So, might this be an amalgamation of different cultures and not just Japanese, Chinese, I guess, Oriental culture, if you want to use that phrase? I'm not sure if that's the wrong phrase to use.
I will handle that problem. You deal with our new pet.
He said how hard it is to die here. They're obviously not in their original areas. They're obviously not in the original Pantheon zones, seems like. Okay, that's weird. But alright. Alright, so the clothing she's wearing is obviously bendable, so it's not pure stone, like I was thinking it was, because her arms are bending.
Okay. I think they're gone.
Just be careful.
Fresh air.
Is that a gelatinous cube?
Different.
You're a cube. Talking. You know what? It doesn't matter. How do we get out of here?
Yeah, we've tried. There's no way out.
And you're a talking sword.
I'm not the sword. I'm the ribbons, obviously. And my name is Rue. The cube is Frank.
Frank.
I'm Faye. There has to be a way out of here.
A way out, but you're not even all here.
Not even all here.
Of course I'm not here. I'm dead.
You have to be dead to come through the gateway.
It's like you're holding something back.
This isn't working.
Alright, oh, I see the thing on her back now. She's now got a way to hold the sword or a weapon of some kind.
Where are we anyway?
Afterlife of the gods? I call it the everywhen.
Everywhere.
Afterlife of the
Okay,
gods.
so she... Alright, so she is in the afterlife, so those two beings that she encountered were probably gods, and they mentioned Sekhmet, the Egyptian goddess of war. So she's probably dead, which means there's something going on.
Great.
So, what's the plan, boss?
Not your boss, Frank. That cask. That's why you're trapped.
Yeah.
Lower him down just
Wait,
slightly.
you made that big explosion happen, right? Could you do that again?
My magic, it's wrong here. I feel wrong here.
You want out, right?
I think we all want that.
We definitely do.
Faye, you need to accept it. All of it. You're dead.
How? How do I accept that?
Simple. Focus. You're here. Be here.
Be dead.
But
What if I need to be somewhere else?
Then focus on what you do need.
But where else does she need to be, is the question.
Find your way home.
And Kratos.
Hey, that's it. What were you thinking of?
A promise.
Okay, we'll take it. Now let's get out of here.
Okay. Get ready.
Wait! Not a good idea. Bad idea.
Alright, that seems like an obvious means to transition somewhere. Kratos? Is he dead now too?
Kratos.
Oh, was he like a memory or something? It seems like he might be more of a memory. Or... Hold on. Let me get to there. Seemed like he was either more of a memory in that sequence, or he might have been... Because they just said that she was holding on to something, so that might be something there. I don't think he might have actually been there. Because he didn't say anything. Oh yeah, that was definitely a scene transition mask. Look at that.
Rue? I think
Interesting.
you should give her the sword.
How do I know I can trust her?
I'll give it back. I promise.
Okay. Take it.
I'm not sure what culture that's supposed to be from. It looks kind of oriental. Oh, she could pull a Hulk shenanigan shit. Nice. That's pretty cool. Alright, so we got what looks to be some Blades of Chaos moves going on there. Long distance and long AoE.
Wait! You need to get out of here!
Or not AoE, range.
I don't need help! Here we go, coming up behind!
Alright, looks like some Mimir stuff going on there. I like how the body will twist and everything, but the head stays the same place. That's really robotic and mechanical. I like that. Okay, so right off the bat we get a companion. Like, right off the bat. So, it looks like Santa Monica is leaning heavily into the whole mechanic of having assistants or having companions or something, which they've been doing since 2018 with the God of War 2018 game. So that looks like that's something they're definitely leaning into the new series, in the new feel, the new God of War.
Come on!
No! I got a promise to keep.
Fine, but lady, that sword, it's more than you think it is.
Looks interesting. Oh, big guy. Is this our first boss fight?
Are you ready? I will kill you.
Don't make promises you can't keep, Gotham.
God thing. Keeps calling her God thing. Now, the mere fact that Laufey is here is a sign that she's not just a giant, but she is of godly origin.
Try again!
Faye, focus!
Fire! I will wrench you thread by thread. You don't know what you wield.
What is it?
Oh, that was cool as shit. She turned into she kind of turned to Sparkles for a bit there to dodge an attack.
You're scared of this sword. Why?
I fear nothing.
All right, so still sticking with the general Norse God of War combat style. I don't blame them. It's obviously been tried and true method. The camera style endorses it. That was cool.
Just give up.
He seems like some sort of ferocious entity, so obviously like maybe a fierce deity sort of entity? Because in Japanese and Chinese culture, gods were respected and revered, but they weren't always good. Some of them had an angry, rageful side. And that was to be respected and feared as well. Damn, she's taking punishment. Like, she's taking Kratos levels of punishment. God damn. This proves that she's got some kind of divinity in her. Or maybe giants are seen as gods? They classify as gods, maybe? Now, before we go any further, I am noted as saying to a lot of people that I think Kratos' story should end. I actually did an entire presentation on Kratos, and I think Kratos' story in the God of War series should be over. I think it should be done, so I think this is a really cool way to maybe end the series or kickstart into something new, but I think this would be really cool anyway. Let's see if there's anything more.
Hi, I'm Corey Barlog, head of creative at Santa Monica Studio.
Okay.
Thank you for watching this extended look at the next core game in the series, God of War Laufey. You know, telling Faye's story has kind of been a goal of mine since we started working on the Norse Saga. She is very near and dear to me as a character, so I knew that we needed the right person to see this one through. I would like to introduce Laufey's game director, Ariel Lawrence, whom I've had the pleasure of working with for more than 20 years. Man, there is nobody that I trust more to bring this story to life than her.
So
thanks,
she's
Corey.
been part of the original
Hi,
God of
I'm
War
Ariel,
series.
and I'm honored to represent the entire Santa Monica studio team. We hope this small slice of game we've shown you today has given you a good introduction to what it's like to be Faye and the kind of trouble she finds herself in the afterlife of the gods. The team is still very hard at work creating this new adventure with Faye as she fights through the Everywind to save the ones she loves. You can expect us to be back with even more details as we get closer to release. We're super excited and cannot wait to show you more of the magic and danger that awaits Faye. Until then, thanks again for watching. Bye.
Okay, that was pretty cool. I gotta say, I am really intrigued and interested how that could be brought into a new storyline. I like that they're focusing on Faye. Now, I've been noted several times by some close friends that whenever the topic of God of War comes up, that I firmly believe that Kratos' story, I think, should end. Like, it should be there. Not that he dies, but I think that his story, him as a character, has completely run its course. He, from the early 2000s and the original God of War up until Ragnarok, I think his story should end. The man's been through a lot. Let's just cancel that there, or let's just put that in there. He's been through a lot. As a matter of fact, I've got the presentation thing right here where I did a presentation on Kratos in my public speaking class. So I've really gotten into who Kratos is, what he represents, who he is as a Spartan, and I think as a character, I believe Kratos has run his course. I think he's done as a character. Not anything negative against him, or I think he's boring or anything. I just think his story has been long enough. And I was excited whenever they mentioned a new God of War, but I was really hoping it would star another character, maybe Atreus. I thought maybe Kratos was kind of like, done for right now. Unless they wanted to go back in time and do something with Kratos, like between the Greek and Norse Saga, like maybe he was running around through Egyptian stuff. So I am really, really pleased that they chose Laufey as a character to stick with here, because one, she's You don't have to take it easy like you would with Atreus. You don't have to go slow. He doesn't have to learn everything. He doesn't have to figure out who he is or nothing. She already knows who she is. She already knows what she's capable of. And they did say that Santa Monica did say that Ragnarok was going to be the end of the Norse Saga, which, okay. I mean, Ragnarok. Where do you go from the end of the world with Ragnarok? I mean, where do you go from there? So Faye being in the spotlight is pretty cool because there's so much story that you could expand upon there with Faye. Um, so and the really cool part is with the Greek and Norse saga, they were very similar in terms of vibe, but not an aesthetic. So one thing, if you've watched or read any um, East Asian style culture or movies or books or stories or whatever, there is a vast cultural difference between the Oriental Asian, East Asian culture and what we would classify as Western, being American, European, French, German, that kind of thing. There's a vast difference in culture. One of the ways this is most prominent in my experience is with horror movies and horror content. So it's a good example. We can pick a horror movie. Let's just pick one at random. Annabelle. Okay, or even better, let's pick the Evil Dead series. With Evil Dead, you open the book, you read from the book, shit happens. You read another passage from the book and close it, shit's over. For the most part with Western stuff and Western horror, if you're in the location or you have the item or you're related to the problem will affect you until the problem is solved. In Japanese culture, for example, with the Grudge movies or most other their horror movies, you could be completely unrelated to the problem. You could be completely innocent of anything that's going on. But with like the Grudge, you walk into the house for whatever reason, firefighter, paramedic, or in the movie's cases, at least the Americanized version of the movie's cases, with like Sarah Michelle Gellar and that Raimi guy. You walk into the house, you're dead. You're gonna die. It's gonna kill you, like for no reason other than it can. You walk out of the house, you're still screwed for the rest of your, you know, relatively short life. And when it comes also to gods and the concept of good and evil within Eastern and Western culture, we have what we describe as in the West. We have a very clear good versus evil, bad versus good, God versus devil sort of vibe. But in Chinese, Japanese, and Oriental culture, from at least my understanding, because I've read a few bits. I'm not like an expert or anything, but I know a surface level, maybe a little bit deeper understanding. Is that good and evil are aspects of who we are. So no one is all good, no one is all evil. It's like the yin and yang thing. We're all there's capacity for all of it within us, and the gods and spirits of their culture are no different. So to see a couple of their entities here, yeah, they're evil for, creative direction purposes, creative literacy purposes, but to see them be something strange and vibrant and obscure, but with the concept of evil or hostility in them, was interesting. And I think that's going to be a breath of fresh air. I do like that they had that one red guy who I have no idea who he is, but he looked like a traditional Oni or an Oni mask. The curved teeth, red face, crazy puffed up hair, big muscular body. That is a typical depiction of an Oni-like entity or a demon as they knew it. I don't know who the other person was. I have no idea who that was, and I have no idea where to start. But she looked a little bit like a water entity, so fire and water maybe balance. But with the mentioning of Sekhmet, we have the traditional Asian European or traditional Asian West or East Asian culture, Oriental culture, Oriental entities that we would identify in that culture as gods or spirits. And then we have Sekhmet, who is Egyptian. So that gives me two concepts here. One, we're going to be interacting with multiple pantheons of gods. Obviously, Sekhmet might be dead, or she might be dipping her toes into the dead area. She might be, putting her feet into the Deadpool. Deadpool. But that also makes me think that we might see some Greek gods here. that Kratos killed. We might bump into Zeus or maybe even Athena, which would be interesting. It would be cool, but I hope that they don't overpower the core story that's being told. All of God of War Valhalla, the free DLC that came out eventually with Ragnarok, which might as well have been its own game for all we know. It probably should have been its own game. Was nothing but fan service. It really was. I think it was inspired by a video that was done a good number of years ago by a guy named Tactical Bacon Productions. I think maybe that had something to do with it. But all of Valhalla was a fan service because everybody who's been a fan of God of War, or at least played all the Greek games, they got, shout outs to all of it. Like all of those games got certain shout outs. And I thought that was really cool, especially for people who had never played the Greek games. They got to understand Kratos' story just a little bit better. And maybe they were encouraged to pick up the old games. But if they bring back, or at least mention, the Greek gods that Kratos murdered, that might be an interesting thing to see, because one, this is where the gods are. This is the afterlife of the gods. So why wouldn't Zeus or Athena be there? But the mere fact, sorry, my screens went down. The mere fact that Zeus and Athena and them haven't overtaken this place and ruled it leads me to believe that in this afterlife of the gods, nobody is all powerful. Like, their power may not be as high as they could be. So who knows? Who knows what's going on? But I think it's going to be an interesting concept to explore, because she might get different ideas of Kratos if Kratos didn't tell her everything that he did in Greece. It would still be cool. I'm really excited to see where this goes. I think it's going to be really cool to play as a new character of Laufey. No, I also have seen a lot of negative reaction to this from piece of crap streamers and video makers who are saying that the game is woke, the game is woken up. I might do a video on that particular thing later, but I personally find that that's disingenuous and kind of stupid to say it's woke because you play as a female character. You gotta ask, where else could they have reasonably gone with it? Because they said that the Norse games were obviously going to be done, and it's already established in Ragnarok that Laufey had already fought Thor, and I think it was to a standstill, wasn't it? It was to a standstill. So the fact that she could take on Thor, why can't she take on all this other stuff and kick some ass? I mean, she's an awesome character that we barely got to understand in the last two games, so why not take the opportunity to explore her character more? But anyway, that's my thoughts. I think it was really cool to see it. Some of it's a little confusing, but then again, somebody who's coming from a purely Western cultural background and aesthetic, or not aesthetic so much as understanding. This is just the culture I'm in as Western, and seeing a mix of Western and East Asian Oriental culture. The fact that I don't understand some of it might just be trying to cross that barrier and try to understand it. Hopefully the game does that, and it allows us to transition into that culture and understand that culture a little bit better. So that's going to be interesting to see, and I really hope this game does that, is it doesn't just throw us head first with the same ideas and the same perspective on the world as Western culture would, and it allows us to be introduced to the way that East Oriental culture would view those things. So I'm really excited to see if they can pull that off, because it's going to be a really hard thing to do. It's going to be a really hard sell, as is, apparent with old animes. Coming into a Western audience just wasn't a big thing. Nowadays it is, but back in the 80s and 90s it wasn't easy to do. But anyway, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Tell me what you think. What do you think maybe the game's going to be about? Think maybe, is Kratos going to be playing a more prominent role? Will we see Atreus in there somewhere? What gods could we bump into and see? Me as a Celtic pagan, maybe we'll see some of the Celtic gods. Maybe Lugh. Maybe even see some Fomorians running around. That would be really cool. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Be sure to hit the like button. Help us get up in the algorithm. Subscribe if you feel so inclined. And until the next video, see you guys later.